clarification before I go into the presentation. Our financial year is the same as calendar year, which is not true for many companies in our industry. So when I talk about, let's say, FY24, it is the same as calendar 24, FY23 is the same as calendar 24. So, let's start with some numbers. We have two sets of group numbers here. One is a 3-year number from 21 to 23, where you will see that we have a CAGR of more than 20%. For this period, this is top 3 growth in the industry. And actually, outside of these top 3 companies, including us, no other company was anywhere close to this kind of growth of CAGR. For the last year, FY24, we have only 9-month numbers. And for that, there was of course a period of slower growth for the industry and globally. You will see that our growth is 13.5%, 13.6%, 9 months over 9 months growth. In this case, we think the top 2 in the industry. Much like in the prior period, 3 years, where nobody else was close to this growth. In this case, again, outside 3 companies, nobody else was close to double-digit growth. Everybody else was in low, sometimes mid single-digit growth. The one other thing to point out is that if you look at our DRHP filing, which was in June, we gave first half growth numbers in that, and that was at 9.7%. And our UDRHP, the RHP has 3 quarters, and suddenly over 1 quarter, it's accelerated from 9.7% to 13.6%. Clearly, there is an underlying acceleration in our growth. There's a lot of momentum in our business right now. Now, what this growth has given us is scale. Now, this scale number of 10,000 crores here of revenue is still some time ago. This is 23. We haven't announced full year 24 numbers yet. But the first 9 months of 24 itself is just under 9,000 crores. So it's given us decent scale coupled with solid profitability. I think you will see 2 numbers. There's an adjusted EBITDA and an EBITDA, for reported EBITDA. For all practical purposes, you should think of our adjusted EBITDA as the real EBITDA because there are many costs that will not go forward into the year 25. They are non-recurring items. And Vikash will speak to those. We have the best cash flow conversion in the industry at almost 90%. And because of this, we've also been able to maintain a very healthy dividend. So last year we paid out 70 rupees a share, and the year before that we paid out 22 rupees a share. Bear in mind, these shares are pre-split. So for the current shares, we put them as 8.5 rupees a share last year, 11 rupees a share the year before. So all of these numbers, I think the more important question is why did they happen? And we think we built a great company. We built a lot of solid foundational elements which are behind this performance and which then also give us a lot of confidence in future. So, some of you may know that we were listed before, and some of you may have followed us when we were listed. So what's changed? I'll say the most important things that have changed. 1 is scale. 2, the scale has come as a consequence of substantially increased capability. We become much better at what we do. And part of the reason we become much better is each of what we do for our customers is backed by a platform, which we think is the best. And oftentimes this capability improvement has come because we've added leadership. And we've also continuously become more global in where we do business and where we deliver from. So let's talk a little bit about each of these, but the most important factor that underlies all of this is the talent, the ambition, and passion of our leadership team. Now, let me give you a little bit of introduction about myself. So, this is my 10.5 year as the CEO of Exer, in my 11th year as the CEO of Exer. I worked 20 years in another company before this, in HCL Technologies. I joined as a trainee. I was the president of 2 different businesses. When I finished, about half of HCL's, just under half of HCL's businesses at that time. I actually built one business from 0 to $2 billion in about 11 years. That's my background. And like me, there are many other leaders in Hexaware who built large businesses in large companies before joining Hexaware. And we feel very good about replicating that success in Hexaware. We've done some of it. We have more to go, but we feel very good that we can do that. We've been through kind of many changes in corporate ownership, but our team has worked together through all these. And the reason is we are in it together for a simple purpose. We want to build a great company. We want to build a company that lasts forever, and that's something that takes a period of a while to do. And that's the journey that we are in together as a leadership team. So one of the most important things the leadership team does is on a daily basis think about how can we become better at what we do for our customers. And we have very deep capabilities along 2 dimensions. One is what we call vertical or domain expertise, and the second is technology expertise. Let me give you some examples in each. On technology, so we sell 3 things to customers. We build software, that's the first thing we do. Develop software, and much of this now is cloud native. This business is underpinned by a platform called RapidX. RapidX is born in the GenAI era. It is built on LLMs, and we think it is the best software engineering platform in the world. There's a lot of talk that LLMs can do coding better than humans or help accelerate or improve efficiency in coding. That is true or somewhat true. But coding is a very small part of large complex software programs, software projects. And it's typically maybe 20%. And what RapidX does is to offer solutions for the entire 100% of complex software engineering programs. Once you build software, the second thing we do is tech outsourcing. We host the software, secure it, and we run it in production. And that business has a platform underneath called Tensai. And Tensai was built AI native 4 or 5 years ago. And right now, every month we add a GenAI service into Tensai. Our third business is data and AI. And what we do there is, as the name suggests, help companies prepare for AI, data engineering and execute AI solutions. And this business, under cloud business, is underpinned by a platform called Amaze. Now, each of these platforms are highly differentiated, and this is the source of why we win deals. This is the source of why we are growing faster than industry, faster than competition every year. We operate in multiple domains, 6 verticals, and I'll give you 2 examples of expertise. So, a bank, large retail bank in the US, all of their credit card analytics, each product manager of credit card depends on the work we do daily for pricing and marketing decisions. It's based on a platform that we have for banking. We serve the industry of audit and tax. And there's nobody in the world who understands how to platformize tax businesses and audit businesses like Hexaware, because we serve a lot of these clients. Now, it is not just expertise. We demonstrated for several years that we keep our promises to customers and we deliver the best customer satisfaction in the industry, in the planet. We have the happiest customers in the planet. This is a global customer satisfaction study done by a third party, not by us. They do it for pretty much everybody in the industry. You see the scores there, we are 72 compared to industry median of 42. And the 72 is the highest in the industry. Now, what a combination, and this excellence in delivery happens because we have great talent. We have great engineers that work for us. Not only do we have great engineers, they love to work for Hexaware, but they stay. I'll give you 2 evidence points in this chart. We have the highest Glassdoor rating in the industry. And we have the amongst the lowest attrition in the industry. People like to work for us because they do great work while in Hexaware. And we're growing, so company growth translates to growth opportunities for individuals. There's growth, there's great work, you pay well, so there's no reason for them to go anywhere else. Now, what this combination of great capabilities, great leadership, great platforms, outstanding delivery, very satisfied customers, and very talented employees, what all of this gives together is increased market share with customers. We win more business with each customer every week. Let me give you 2 or 3 data points as evidence. So this chart on the left here has our customer pyramid. It shows how many clients give us how much revenue. So just in a 3-year period, the number of customers who give us more than $20 million a year has almost doubled. It's gone from 6 to 11. This is still dated information. This is as of 23 end. And the number of clients who give us $10 million has increased about 50%, gone from 19 to 29. I think really important is the size of our clients. We do business with large companies. 62% of the revenues comes from customers whose revenue is above 45,000 crores per annum, above $5 billion. So what that means is that we have a lot of ability to grow with our customers. They have big budgets and we do well, we have great capability, so we can continue to grow with them for a long period of time. And this is what happens to existing customers. Apart from existing customers, we have a sales team which is extremely good at adding new clients every systematically. I go to sleep, I know that we will get some quality customers every quarter. Finally, because of all this, we become very global in the places we do business in and the places we deliver to customers from. Our 33,000 employees are spread over 28 countries. I'm proud to say we can serve clients in every major language in the world, in every major time zone in the world, every major regulatory constraint. Data cannot go out of this country. We can take care of every major such requirement for our customers globally. So, quick summary: great talent, great leadership, great platforms, very delighted customers, and puts us in a position where we keep winning more with customers. With that, I'm going to hand over to Vikas. Thank you.
Thanks, Ish. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks a lot to each one of you for taking time out and coming and listening to us. What I'm going to do is spend a few minutes in terms of taking you through the financial highlights of our company. So, at the highest level, we are one of the fastest growing IT services company, which has the ability to service both the transformation and the discretionary aspects of the client demand. We have been growing at a pace which is faster than the industry for any period of time that you can look into. So we are, and the good news is that our growth rate is accelerating. So in 2023, we actually grew at 7.8%. In H1 of the current year, that growth rate actually accelerated from 7.8% of last year to 9.7%, which was filed as part of the RHP. If you look into our RHP, as Keech mentioned that we have put in the number for 9-month period, which is 13.6. So 7.8 in 23, 9.7 in H1, 13.6 in 9 months. You can do the maths for 3 months period. You would see that our growth rate is accelerating. And why is that happening? It's primarily the way we have actually structured our business over a period of time. On the right hand side, you can see that we service 6 different industries, ranging from financial services, healthcare and insurance, manufacturing, high-tech, banking, and travel as a vertical. We are not over-indexed to anyone, and the fact that we service 6 different industries basically puts us in a very solid position to continue to grow secularly much faster than the industry average, because we are well suited to deal with economic ups and downs of some of these industries. When one industry goes down, the other one picks up. When the second industry goes down, third one picks up. That's why we continue to deliver secular growth. 45% of our revenue are coming from industries which currently are growing at a much faster pace: healthcare, high-tech, and travel. If you look at the chart from 21 to 23, you will see that every single unit actually delivered double-digit figure. Every single unit. From a geo perspective, 78% of our revenue comes from North America. That's the largest market globally for IT services. So for us also close to 72%. 72% of our revenue comes from North America. 22% comes from Europe. Europe has been the fastest growing region for us, and the balance 6% comes from Asia Pacific. Now, the fact that we are not over-indexed to Americas like many of the other peer sets in the industry again ensures that we continue to deliver growth when some of those geos might themselves go through their economic ups and downs. Asia Pacific historically was not performing so well, and we made few changes. Number one is we changed the leadership team there in early last year, and in addition to that, we made investments in 2 joint ventures in Middle East region. And the impact of that is already reflected in terms of the early results, where you can see that after not having grown for the 2-year period from 21 to 23, in 9 months period, Asia Pacific actually delivered a 7% plus year-on-year growth. So we are starting to see the early results of the changes that we made in that region. From a margins perspective, while revenue is accelerating. Our margins, both on an adjusted EBITDA perspective and a net profit perspective, is also on the upswing. 22 was a year where we made a lot of investments, and it was a conscious decision that we took in terms of gaining market share, making investments, and those investments were particularly with respect to skill creation programs. A lot of the investments went in terms of training, both the campus and the lateral, launching new campus programs, not only in India but outside India, in US and Mexico. The results for those, plus operational efficiencies, are now getting reflected in terms of our margin percentage, where you see that margins have consistently been going up from 22. So from 22, it went up in 23, and then again in the 9-month period, it has gone up again to 17.4%. That's our baseline as far as our margins are concerned on a go-forward basis. Now, what gives us the confidence on margins is our utilizations have improved from less than 80% to close to 82 to 82.5. We think we can improve it further. Our offshore mix has gone up from 41 to 44. It is still lagging behind a lot of the peer sets. You can see it in the KPIs. We can continue to improve it. We have opened up delivery centers in tier 2 locations in end of 23, beginning of 24, or throughout 24. We opened up 4 different locations: Ahmedabad, in Gift City, Coimbatore, Dehradun, and one in Colombo in Sri Lanka. Now, these tier 2 locations, we are able to attract talent at a lower cost point, but the attrition rates in these locations are significantly lower compared to tier 1 locations. So it's helping us bring down our cost of delivery. So a combination of all of this gives us a confidence in terms of our margin numbers. On a cash flow basis, very strong balance sheet. As of 30th of September, we had close to $180 million in cash, completely debt-free balance sheet. We have been paying out dividend, which has been very healthy. Pete spoke about it, that we paid out close to 60% of our PAT in the last 3 years in terms of dividend. Our cash flow conversion, OCF to EBITDA, has been 90% plus, and that's being driven by a very tight working capital management that we do. So if I have to summarize our financial performance, we are growing much faster than the industry rate, and our growth rate is accelerating from a revenue perspective. Our margins are expanding faster than the revenue, which means that in absolute dollar we are adding more on margins than on revenue on a year-on-year basis, with a cash flow which is one of the best in the industry. With that, we'll open up for Q&As.
First of all, congratulations on the IPO. Myself, Derevadan